Yes.
He that dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I'm going to tell you something. Now, this happened. Now, this is a big bike. It's 1700. So, it's hefty. You know, it's one of the biggest ones they make. And I was riding, and I was sitting there on that bike, and all of a sudden, I felt somebody sit down on that motorcycle. I'm dead serious. This happened. I mean, I felt the pressure of somebody as if they climbed on the back of the motorcycle and set it down. You know what I'm talking about. You get a rider on back, you know it. But he sat down on this thing, and I mean, I felt it just go like that. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know what's going on. And he takes that bike and lays it down like this. And he did it. I didn't do it. It was down so far, I was leaning over looking at the road, and I was thinking, you go any farther and we're going to go down. That's what I was thinking. You don't take a bike like that over like that, just lay it down. But he did. And evidently, it went like this. And when I came up, I was dead in front of that car. Instead of hitting it on the side. Dead in front of it. I turned and watched the lady just come in and nail me right beside. Flew me 137 feet down the road, landed on concrete. Now, you know the word says that he'll give his angels charge over you. And they'll bear thee up with their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. When I came down, there wasn't nothing wrong with this side, and that's what I landed on. Not a single internal injury, nothing wrong with it. The only thing that was wrong was where the lady hit me. And crushed this wrist, broke my thigh, broke my hip, took my calf off in the back, took my foot off, cut it off at the main artery. So I was bleeding out laying on the side of the road. I came to, I didn't know what had happened. Because I couldn't even remember for a minute. And then all of a sudden I said, "Oh God!" I mean, I was hurting. Felt like this leg was turned all the way around behind me and I was laying on it. But I yelled out, "Oh God!" And the patrolman goes, "You are alive?" I said, "Yeah, I'm alive." You know, but he thought I was dead. Now I'll tell you something. I'm just telling you that God is real. He really sat down on that thing. He really took hold of it. I didn't do nothing. And then when I landed, it didn't hurt me. I mean, you don't go, that's 13 feet from the middle yard, of the center yard line on a 50-yard line on a football field. That's 13 feet from the main yard. What do you call it? I don't know. No, 50-yard line. Yeah, 50-yard line. I watch football all season. I don't know what's wrong with me. But you 13 feet from the 50-yard line. Fly that far and land and have no internal injuries. No broken bones. Only where she hit me. But the amazing thing is this too. That my sister-in-law is in Gwinnett County. My wife asked her, she said, "How many officers are trained in triage?" She said, "Not many." He was. And he was sitting there and kept me alive where I didn't bleed out and die. See, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter who you are. So you can look at it and say, "Well, you're a preacher, you know, he didn't keep you alive for this." You're the same way as I am. There's nobody. He's no respecter of person. He does it for one, he'll do it for another one. God is God all the time. He can be God at any time he desires, and he can move any way that he wants to. For God is the author and finisher of our faith. God is the one that says, "You're going to live or it's time to go." It doesn't happen unless he okays it.
Amen.
That's the way it is, and it doesn't matter if he has to move heaven and earth at the time, because the fowler's snare was sitting before me, and he said, "No, it's not time yet, and it's not going to happen."
Amen.
Look, I'm just telling you how real he is. The officer that investigated it said this. Now, this is his words to my wife. See, I laid for 3 days. They didn't know if I was going to live or die. And I told her later, I said, "Why didn't you just ask me?" I said, "I would have told you I was going to live."
Hearing their voices.
Yeah, hearing their voices. I had a rider on back that don't jump on if I'm going to die. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But then, it's just things like that. You need to understand that He is real. But this statement was made to my wife by the patrolman that investigated it. Now this is his words. I am fully persuaded, that's not the guy that was sitting behind her. He didn't see it no way. He just seen the aftermath. But the one that investigated said this. I am fully persuaded that what saved your husband was that last minute maneuver that he made. If it had said to me, I'd have said, I'll tell you right now, I didn't even drive nothing. I was just a spectator at what God did because He took that motorcycle and laid it down. I didn't have a thing in the world to do with it. He's the one that made that maneuver, not me. He knew the one place that I could be and live. Now sometimes, I was talking a while ago, I get to feeling bad. I look at it and say, God, why in the world did you let me live? I'm serious. I mean, people say, yeah, but you're walking. Let me tell you something. It'll never be the same. Never. Other people say, you going to get a motorcycle? Well, I went back and got on one. I don't know, I might. If it's your, y'all ain't learned nothing, did you? If it's your time, it's your time. If it's not, it's not. So I make another side broke up, and then I'll have a matching set. I'm just kidding. My wife said, no, you ain't getting on a motorcycle. Anyway, you're with her. Anyway, let me tell you this, and I'll I promise you. There's something I want you to see. Turn to Psalms 91. Psalms 91 at we'll read verse 15 all the way in. Because here we see it again. He's talking about the writer. He's talking about him calling upon God. He will call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I sustain him and show him my salvation.
Hallelujah.
See, I think sometimes we just look at things a little different than God. Because, see, we look at things like this. I got salvation. It's going to make it when I get there. It's going to let me inherit heaven. It's going to do all these things for me. I'm going to get there. Let me show you something. He said, I will show him. In other words, if it comes down to it, salvation is up there and come in Georgia on a motorcycle sometimes when you don't even know where you're at. Salvation is wherever you are. He's right there in that place and He'll show it to you. It's live. It's active. It works right then. If it takes it to turn something around that can't be turned around, He showed His salvation to the children of Israel when they stepped up to the Red Sea and it split for them and they went across on dry ground. He showed salvation to them again when they crossed into Jordan and it split. I'm telling you, He'll show His salvation. And if you say, I don't have anything that I can tell or anything I can say, I ain't heard much and I ain't seen much, let me tell you this. All you got to do is tell about a man named Jesus. And I'll tell you exactly what happened to me. I was up in Dawsonville, Georgia. Long-haired, hippie, freak, goat smoking drummer. And that's what I was. And I was up there. Then one day, a man walked in named Jesus and said, you don't have to be this no more. You don't have to be a drug addict. You don't have to be beaten down. You don't have to be who you think you are. I'm going to tell you now that He can deliver the salvation that He brought to you in the beginning. Go and tell it. Tell it. You tell it, and the others will listen. You may think, I don't know. That one's not. Tell it again to somebody else. Don't stop. Tell them how you got baptized in the Holy Ghost. Tell them how you seen hands laid upon people and bones put back. Tell them how you seen a blinded eye open. Tell them you've seen every bit of this. You'll get to that place. But if you don't tell, you'll never see. You'll never see. Tell them. Tell them. Stand with me, please. I know I've been long. I tried to get in some things that y'all might want to know. I'm telling you now.